We strayed from what got us to the top of the mountain, and it cost us greatly.
In 2006, Bill Ford, great-grandson of Henry Ford and the man then running the company, made a painful self-assessment.
I went to my board and I said, look, I need some help, because at the time I was chairman, I was CEO, I was COO, and I was president. I was wearing all the hats. And they said, well, what do you need? And are you looking for a CEO or COO? I said, I really don't much care. What I want is the right person.
The right person was Alan Mulally, halfway across the country running Boeing commercial airplanes.
Our new president and CEO, Alan Mulally. Alan?
When the two men finally connected, they clicked immediately. But inside Ford headquarters, not everyone was sold on Mulally.
Very first meeting, somebody said, well, I understand you've got an interesting background, but this is a very difficult business, and I don't think you realize kind of how complex it is. And Alan said, yeah, I think I do have a sense of how complex it is. You make a vehicle that has 3,000 moving parts. I make one that has 30,000 moving parts and has to stay in the air. So talk to me about difficulty and complexity. And that kind of shut everybody up.
On Profit Consumer Reports, Mulally and his team got a blunt assessment of Ford's quality. And blunt it was.
If you compare a Ford vehicle now with a Ford vehicle 8 years ago, what's the difference?
I wouldn't have touched a Ford vehicle 8 years ago.
David Champion, director of automobile testing, didn't hold back from Mulally and his team.
Tell me what you remember from that meeting.
Well, we go through all the data and, what we've seen.
And boy, do they have the data. And this is their life. They evaluate vehicles, and they were ready to answer my question. And within a couple of questions, the Ford team that I had there kind of interrupted them and started to explain to them why the Ford vehicles were the way they were.
And Alan said, no, we're here to listen. We're here to learn.
And let's write down everything that everybody says, because we're going to seek to understand before we seek to be understood.
It's not something I'd seen before, and it really showed that he was in charge, that we are going to change things at Ford. We are going to do things differently.